also the faith of someone believing that whatever we think we lose is going to be restored back to us. We signed with one of the biggest, if not the biggest company in the world.
Called Iwan Sunito in China, tallest building.
This is Beijing.
Beijing.
Thank you for coming all the way.
How is it feeling on the top of the world?
You know, it's actually interesting that almost that today is a historical moment. We signed with one of the biggest, if not the biggest company in the world. And to think back, it was like a sense of gratitude. You know, you were a witness to the event today, and they were very excited about partnering with us.
Amazing.
I think if I can just reflect back and I say there was two things that I think that can be learned in it. And number one is really that our life is a product of grace.
Yeah.
That it's we get what we don't work for. It's a gift from above. So when we get blessed with great things, it was almost something not to be boastful about, because it's not our intelligence, but it's almost the grace that just surround our life. It's what we don't work for, and it's given. And so I always remember that whatever we've been blessed with it's something to be grateful about, not something to be boasting about that I'm better than you.
Yeah.
But the second thing is, Ryan, it was like I was after we signed that MOU, I was sitting back and I thought, I feel that sense of relief. In the worst moment of my life, it was my wife, Liana, who said to me, and Dad, whatever we think we can lose, God will restore it by September 2024. And I said, well, if that's your faith and that you believe that's a faith from above, I'm gonna believe with you. I don't know how we're gonna get there, but I'm gonna set a program of 3 months, and I titled that Reclaiming the Ground. And we begin to just fight through and find ways to come out from the most desperate moment of our life, and as if it's almost like a biblical epic. Looking back today, like 2 years later, now we're standing in this tallest building in Beijing, the capital, like the biggest of the biggest economy of the world, and signing with a company, an MOU with a company of that scale, like unheard of. Like when you think about today, and you're a witness to the signing and how excited they are partnering with us, and almost to say, wow, who are we, right? But to just reflect back to say that, wow, it was the grace, but it's also the faith of someone believing that whatever we think we lose is going to be restored back to us. But it wasn't just restored one time. We've been restored so many times. I remember a story in the Bible that talks about Abraham, and he was so old, and he stayed in his tent, and he complained about the whole situation, and he said that, where's the promise? And then what God told him was actually unheard of. It's like he said, get out of your tent, look at the stars and count it. For as many as your eyes can see, and count it, that's as many as your descendant will be. And what's powerful in that story was that he was asked to get out from this small tent. And when we go through really the very challenging of our life, we tend to just go and just close our eyes and starting to be a victim mentality. But that story is a story of faith, that no matter what you don't see, what you don't have yet, no matter how you haven't really achieved a lot of things, you need to sometimes get out of your tent, start to count the blessings, start to count the number of stars, the promise that you have. And what's interesting is that his name was changed on that day from Abraham to become Abraham. Abraham, which means the father of faith, to become Abraham, which is the father of nations, despite his circumstances. And that was what my wife saw 3 years ago, when I didn't see the promise, I didn't see a way out. She spoke that word that changed everything. And to just conclude that faith is a substance, it's almost everything that you need. It's having faith that it's going to be fine. Like all things work together for good, that there is a story that been written about all of our life, and everyone has a grace in their life, that there is a writing, that your destiny is almost written on the wall. And there's only one way, it's going up.
Wow. So it's keep dreaming, yeah?
Yes.
Keep believing and never give up.
Yes.
So inspiring.
Well,
Thank
let's
you,
go for
Iwan.
Thank you.
We continue to our dinner.
Yes.
One of the world's tallest building, top of China.